Good afternoon, villagers. How are you doing? Just finished over at Diz Our Dream. They were having a nice little afternoon chat. Hey, Doug. How you doing? A lot of people are going to be coming over from Diz Our Dream. They were just streaming with Myers and the Mouse. So, hi, Stacy. So they'll all be there. I was just giving them a couple minutes so that they could finish off their chat. Oh, Pam, I'm so sorry that your boy's sick. Oh, hope he feels better. Tummy problems are never nice. So, let me give it a chance for for people to come in, because I wanted to mention a question that was raised during that last stream with Diz Our Dream. I actually have an answer for you. So, hello, Amy. Hello, Tina McNeil. Thanks for popping over. Appreciate it. Mike Wheeler, how are you doing? And Disney World Freak, good to see you. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Glad you're coming over. Mike Polito, good to see you. Yeah, it's been a day around here. Been quite a day. Chelino Sanchez, good to see you. Let me go ahead and mention a couple of things here. In the news, I've got things about content warnings that were added to movies and shows with outdated cultural depictions across the Disney Plus library. Now, before Disney Plus, there was this thing called the Treasures DVD collection, Walt Disney Treasures, and that's when many of us first learned about outdated cultural depictions in many of the earliest Mickey Mouse shorts, on the front lines, the wartime propaganda, different things like that. There was a segment that preceded the cartoons on the Mickey Mouse black and white DVDs, and it was actually produced specifically to address the concept of cultural depictions and how they were outdated. Of course, times change, they always do, and so they want to be culturally sensitive to how things are today. Now, there had been rumors flying around that people were going to see edited versions of Dumbo, of Peter Pan, The Jungle Book, all that. They said even the Aristocats apparently has a scene that is culturally outdated, shall we say. Okay, and in that time, everyone was saying, oh, they're going to have edited cartoons. No, they're not. What they're doing is they're listing a content warning on the description of the video itself. They want to make sure that they understand that, yes, they did produce some things that were culturally acceptable at the time when they were done. I mean, let's face it. In Lady and the Tramp, when you've got Siamese cats that are singing the way they are, it can be deemed a little offensive in this day and age. So they're sensitive, so they are aware of that. There were similar scenes that you can find also when you're looking at the episodes of The Wonderful World of Color and things like that. You're going to see those kinds of things. So it'll say something like, this program is presented as originally created. It may contain outdated cultural descriptions or depictions. So just understand that. And I doubt that even with these kinds of things, these outdated cultural descriptions, I doubt that we'll see Song of the South on the service. If I were to see it there, I would be extremely surprised. So, but just to recap, they also have 10 million subscribers in just a matter of one day. So pretty good. Also, you've heard of the gingerbread house at the Contemporary. They have the famous one at the Grand Floridian as well. This year, for the first time, they're doing one at Wilderness Lodge. It looks like a log cabin. Go check out the pictures. It actually features Humphrey the Bear. Now, this is one of those things I really wish I could visit in person. I'm a big fan of gingerbread. I love the smell, the taste, and then seeing houses built out of gingerbread, just incredible. I wish I really could go, but it's the first time that they've done one at Wilderness Lodge. Now, I'm sure enough of you are here in the stream from Myers and the Mouse and Diz Our Dream when they were having a conversation. They were talking, yeah, you know what? I thought so. They were doing, a lot of people were streaming from all the gingerbread houses yesterday. They all premiered yesterday, apparently, so pretty cool. On the stream for Diz Our Dream, there was a question that brought up Snow White's Scary Adventures. Now, that attraction is no longer at Magic Kingdom, but it is in California at Disneyland. And they were asking if there was going to be a refurb, and nothing is definite yet. There is nothing that is stated on the refurbishment schedule of Disneyland officially. So if you go to the website, you will not see anything there. However, there has been a plan filed with the city of Anaheim that would take small Snow White's Scary Adventures and fix some rockwork interior. They would upgrade electrical in the building. There's a lot of work that's planned. So I discussed this last week during one of the streams for the Daily Dose, and I just really covered it very quickly. In this case, I believe it's going to happen. They just have to schedule it and put it on the calendar. So it's going to be Snow White's Scary Adventures going down, but there is no definite time as to when it's going down. So we'll see what happens. Okay, let's get to the to history here. For the Daily Dose of Disney, today is November 14th, 2019, 41 days until Christmas, and this is your Daily Dose of Disney. November 14th, 1940. This is the morning after the premiere of the film Fantasia at the Broadway Theater. A film critic by the name of Bosley Crowther of the New York Times wrote this. He said, "Motion picture history was made at the Broadway Theater last night." Apparently, everyone was just completely blown away at the beauty, at the technicality, everything. Walt Disney threw everything at this film, and they had a masterpiece on their hands from the get-go. Unfortunately, the current audience at that time did not really appreciate it. It didn't become a hit until the 70s. But at that time, if you were there in person and you experienced Fantasound in person, it's just amazing. It was Dolby Surround 36 years prior to Dolby Surround actually being released. It was called Fantasound. It's amazing. Just incredible stuff. Now, if you've been watching me for a regular amount of time, regularly on this particular show, you'll know that I'm a fan of Goofy. And on this day, November 14th, 1941, they released the Goofy short from the Disney Studios called The Art of Skiing. And that's the one where Goofy teaches us how to ski, sometimes forwards, sometimes backwards. So I love Goofy. So cool. November 14th, 1961, Walt Disney became a grandfather again on that day. Diane and Ron Miller had their 5th child in Monterey County. Monterey County is about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of where the villa is in the Bay Area. So it's relatively close. And as a matter of fact, Diane Miller, to the day she died, lived much closer than that to the villa. She had been in Napa, in the Napa Valley, and they had a winery called Silverado Cellars. I've had some of their wine. It's very good, very high quality wine. So yeah, not cheap though. I think it was like $30 or $40 a bottle. Doug, was that about it? If Doug, you're still in the chat, yeah, it's about $30, $40 a bottle for something from Silverado. So it's not cheap wine. But yeah, they had a grandson on this day, Walt did. And the grandson's name, Walter Elias Disney Miller. So he was a namesake for his grandfather, Walt. On this day in 1965, Walt and Roy and other company executives arrived in Tallahassee. And the next day, they were going to be doing a press conference to announce the Disney World project. Pam, you're always calling me Goofy. Are you calling me Goofy? Oh, my name is Mike. Mike, yeah, take the moniker Goofy. Run with it. It's a proud moment. Yes, Goofy Mike. I like that. So yeah, they flew down they arrived in Tallahassee, Florida on this day to do the announcement with the press the next day for the Disney World project. November 14th, 1991, at Disneyland, 251 new citizens from 61 counties are sworn in as U.S. citizens as part of the ceremonies in Town Square. It was all to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Bill of Rights of the Constitution. I did not know that until I was doing my research. That one is a very interesting factoid for me, but you know me, I just love history. November 14th, 1997, the day after its official Broadway premiere at the New Amsterdam Theater, The Lion King sets box office records by selling $2.5 million in advance tickets for The Lion King. Wow, that's a lot of money. Yeah, naturalization at Disneyland. A lot of things happen at Disneyland. People have been born. There are weddings, proposals, all sorts of things. Man, imagine being naturalized at Disneyland. That's right up there. So that was 1997. 1998, on this day, November 14th, A Bug's Life premiered at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. And it's going to be released later in the month in 98, but on this day it premiered at the El Capitan. This, of course, was the second film from the Pixar studios. Part of the agreement they had with Disney was to produce like 4 films. So, you know, it's a fantastic studio. Very talented, very creative people. Okay, Pam, we'll see you soon. November 14th, 2000. The Magic Kingdom Club. For those of you that are old enough to remember it, the Magic Kingdom Club was this little card that you could get through your employer. And it was a club that the employer would offer as a benefit or a perk. I loved the Magic Kingdom Club. I had it for many years, working for a TV station in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was a member of the Vacation Club through there. Magic Kingdom Club. Now, the thing is, I knew that would happen. Once I got to know my boss, he was a huge Disney fan, so he was going to make sure that there was always that happening. Arnie, is the El Capitan a place you can have movies? What was that? I'm sorry, let me see that again. Arnie, is the El Capitan a place you can see movies all the time or just special events? Amy, you can actually see it all the time, not just special events. Doug and I have been there before. We have seen one movie there together. We saw the movie Ratatouille. And it just so happens that Ratatouille premiered on June 29th, 2007. Doug and I were there for the first showing of Ratatouille that morning in 2007. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, and they play movies all the time. So it's a very opulent movie theater. I really like it. So in 2000, the Magic Kingdom Club was being replaced, and it was something called the Disney Club. The thing about the Disney Club is that anyone could join this one, but you joined it, you paid a fee, and you were given perks such as discounts on theme park tickets, on merchandise, foods, drinks, anything. You could do it. When it launched on this day in 2000, that's what happened. Of course, that's because the Magic Kingdom Club had been folded. They replaced it. Also on this day in 2000, Disney released the Fantasia Anthology, and that included both films, Fantasia and Fantasia 2000. It also came with a third disc, so it wasn't the movies themselves. I won tickets to see Ratatouille from a game show. There was a bingo game. Oh, very good. Very cool. And then on this day in 2002, again, I do tend to talk a lot about Hollywood, the premieres and things like that, but in this case, it's the Hollywood Walk of Fame. On this day, Kermit the Frog got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yep, November 14th, 2002. And then November 14th, 2007, in Florida, the new Yak and Yeti restaurant located at Animal Kingdom opened to guests for the first time. Wow, I can't believe it, 12 years now. It is a good restaurant. Okay, November 14th, 2011. Now, I put out there a tweet with a picture, and I posted on Instagram a picture of Small World Holiday. That's the facade at Disneyland, has all the lights on it. You know, something like 500,000 lights are on the facade of this building, or 50,000. I forget the number exactly. Hi, Samantha. Thank you for being here. Forget the exact number of lights on the facade of Small World Holiday, but it's quite colorful. It takes them 35 days to transform the facade of Small World to do that. It's beautiful. But on this day, they offered another perk to a special person. Gunnery Sergeant Derek Poteet, a veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom from the 13th Marine Expeditionary Unit S6 Communication Platoon, and his family were able to flip the switch to start the lights blinking on Small World Holiday in 2011. That was the first day for that. I had mentioned yesterday that that was something that Doug and I would like to do. It's still on my bucket list. I would love for Pepper Tree Villa to light the lights on Small World to start the holiday season sometime. That would be just a dream come true. And then on this day, another film premiered in 2016 at the El Capitan. If you're up on your Disney cartoons, you know what came out in 2016? Moana. Moana was released to the theaters in 2016, and it premiered on this day at the El Capitan Theater. Okay, that is all I have for history. Now let me mention a couple of notes here. First, I'd like to thank my support channels, D&G Explorers, Two Real Geeks, and Rob Fuzz. They're always very supportive. They help us out whenever we need something done, or if we have some advice that's needed. They're more than happy to answer any questions that we might have. And then there's also Dean at thelifeplace.com. Dean advertises 70 plus channels, all there on his website. Yeah, I could, Mike. I really could. So Dean does sponsor the show. The sponsors all of our channels on thelifeplace.com. You'll see a listing for all of the channels there and when they post their shows, what times, everything. Leanne, thank you for joining. Good to have you here. And now for tonight on the Disney YouTube network, starting with all times Eastern time, so Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m., Mickey Sightings. Sean and Susie will be discussing Disney as they always do on Thursdays. At 7:15, Eye to Eye, Disney Through Our Eyes, Jessica and Kyle, they will be doing Disney trivia. And then at 8 p.m., we've got Mouse Talk with Walt and Melissa. They do their Disney Talk Thursday nights. And tonight, the NFL Watch Party at 8:15. And that's going to be with Kelly from Myers and the Mouse, but it will be on the channel Dole Whip Dad. So check out Jeff on Dole Whip Dad and Kelly, his commentator, for the NFL Watch Party on Dole Whip Dad. Tonight's game is going to be between the Browns and the Steelers. That bit of information is courtesy of Mike Wheeler. Mike, thanks again for helping me out with the information. I really appreciate the help. And then finally tonight at 9 p.m., Rob Fuzz is going live, and he has been doing, he's been out there asking people, what have you been watching on Disney Plus? What has been your go-to? What kind of gem have you found on the streaming service? So join Rob Fuzz tonight at 9 p.m. on Rob Fuzz channel, of course. And then Pepper Tree Villa, of course. Today we premiered a video. Episode 24 of Life with Ben is now live. Ben took us to yet another burger joint here in California. It's called The Habit. And he actually did some research about the place. I learned things about the restaurant I did not know. It is nice to have my reporter out in the field. Thank you, Mike. It's so helpful. Thank you very much. But The Habit is a nice burger joint here in California. We actually have one very close to the villa, so if anyone would ever come over to visit, we could go to either Nations or In-N-Out or The Habit. I recommend all three. All three of them have very different burgers, very distinct tastes. If they were to put all three burgers in front of me, I'd be able to tell you which burger comes from which place just because they're that different. And yet all three are delicious. So that's Life with Ben, now streaming on Pepper Tree Villa, episode 24. So everyone, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Oh, good, Amy, you do have burger places. I'd love to see them. Share those with us. Yeah, you know what, Leanne, it did make me hungry as well. It really made me hungry because I was watching it before breakfast this morning, so I did get hungry. And I found out also, oh, you have the best you have is smash burger. Smash burger is not bad. I like smash burger. So yeah. So that is about all I have for the Daily Dose today. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to like and comment on the video. If you can go back in, comment on it. Like this video as you're leaving. I'd really appreciate that. And everyone, thank you so much for joining me today for this. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Daily Dose. My guess is that it's going to be at 5 p.m. tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific. So 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. And Doug most likely will be joining me on camera. He usually does that on Fridays. So everyone, in the meantime, everyone go out there, have a magical evening. Thank you, Pam. I'm remembering to smile. Thank you so much. Pam, you've been an absolute ray of sunshine that I've needed. Thank you. Everyone, oh, pizza. Pizza. Everyone have a magical evening. You too, Mike. Keep feeding your face. I know I'd love to have some pizza. Have a great evening. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Dose of Disney here on PTV. Bye, everyone.